No lie, no lie, no lie, yeah, yeah. What's up, my dude? Supercross 6 versus Supercross 5. Right off the bat, Supercross 6 is just a worse version of Supercross 5 in every way. That's all there is to it, bro. Especially when I went back and played both of the different games, back to back. It's not even a question. Supercross 5 is just better than Supercross 6 in every way, gameplay-wise. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody tries to tell you any different, I've seen some people commenting some stuff like, well, I think that Supercross 6 is better than 4 and 5 and some shit like that. First of all, people really need to stop putting 4 and 5 like in the same category because 5 is just a better version of 4, okay? But 6 is just a worse version of 4. That's basically what it is. But anybody out there that genuinely thinks that Supercross 6 is better than Supercross 5, boy, you bumped your head, bro. I need some of what you're smoking, bro. You're off your rocker, bro. There's no way in hell, bro. It's not even close, bro. I'm telling you, it's not even close. But I feel like part of that is just Supercross 6 is kind of still the new Supercross game. So that's going to give it a little bit of like relevancy. And, some people are going to be kind of in that honeymoon stage because it's a new Supercross game. Just wait till Supercross 6 gets to be a couple years old. And I'm telling you, everybody will come around. Even the guys that thought that 6 was better than 5. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just give it some time, bro. I'm telling you, just give it some time. And just letting you guys know, in this gameplay, Tomac on the Kawasaki is Supercross 5 gameplay, and then Tomac on the Yamaha is Supercross 6 gameplay, okay? But, boy golly, good golly. I mean, I don't know how they messed up Supercross 6 this bad. I really don't. I mean, it is unreal. I know a lot of people been asking me, like, what Supercross game is the best one? Which one's the worst one? Let me try to just kind of lay that out for you real quick. So basically, 2 is just a better 1. 3 is just a better 2. 5 is just a better 4. Okay? So it puts Supercross 3 and Supercross 5 up there at the top. Those are definitely the better ones when it comes to gameplay, skill gap, leaning, jump size, hucking, quads, separating yourself, speed to the game, the bike having a good balance between, like, it can spin out in the corner, but it's not too much. Supercross 3 and Supercross 5 are just the best gameplay Supercross games. They just are, period. And if you're one of those people that's kind of got that idea that like Supercross 1 has better gameplay or Supercross 6 has better gameplay than 3 or 5, you're probably just more of a casual motocross gamer. That's all I can really say about it. Those games are just way more casual and easy and simplistic. Supercross 1 and 6 are way more like that than Supercross 3 and 5. 3 and 5 are a lot more of the, you can actually separate yourself from a beginner player. It's got more of that, you got to be thinking when you're going around the track in Supercross 3 and 5. You got to actually think about, pulling back on the thumbsticks to huck the bike over a triple to even get it to jump something. Whereas like Supercross 1 and 6, the game just kind of plays itself for you more. You're just kind of on the gas. You're not really, having to do too much on the bike. But like Supercross 6 is just a slower, more clunky, sluggier, more restrictive physics feeling version of Supercross 5. Supercross 5 is like Supercross 6, but it's a lot looser, and the speed of the game is a little bit faster, and you can kind of steer the bike with the throttle a little bit more. You know, Supercross 6, it's like way more glued to the ground, but like not in a good way. It's got a weird, like, the bike is just so glued to the ground, it's hard to really turn down in the corners. It's I don't know, man. It's just Supercross 6 really is not that good gameplay wise. It's just not, man. I'm putting Supercross 6 like on the bottom, more so of the bottom half of the totem pole of the Supercross games, whereas like Supercross 5 was closer to the top of the totem pole. I still think 3 edges out 5 just a little bit, but like I do think there's certain elements of 5 that are better than 3, but I think as a whole 3 is still the best one. But I'm telling you, man, if you go back to Supercross 5, like, there's some of the tracks that have some serious, like, jump skill gap. I mean, you got to really be thinking about what you're doing. But do not buy Supercross 6, man. Even if you're a fan of these Milestone games, you're a fan of these Supercross games, they completely missed it with Supercross 6. They went backwards in every direction gameplay-wise. These games were already simple enough. They were already easy and casual enough, you know, with Supercross 4 and 5 and all that, and even 3. But, like, when you go, they're just going backwards, you know what I mean? That's all Supercross 6 is. It's slow, basic, boring version of Supercross 5. It's just Supercross 5 didn't have quite as much track content because there was a lot of the different tracks that were in the same stadium, whereas Supercross 6 is more of that goes to all the different stadiums, but even still, the jumps are just so much more like peaked out on Supercross 5. They feel way more like an actual Supercross track, whereas Supercross 6, all the jumps are like rolled off, smoothed off. They're a lot shorter. There's not as many big rhythms and big lines to separate yourself on Supercross 6. Supercross 6 feels a lot more like those newer MXGP games when it comes to the speed of the game and the jumps and all that. And even in this gameplay that I'm showing in this video of Supercross 6, you can see all of the bugs, like the over-under bridge section bug, where if you try to hit an over-under bridge, it just like explodes the physics. And then some of the tracks just get like the dirt just gets more and more and more yellow. I know there's one of the tracks on Supercross 6, it just like every lap that you go, it just like there's some sort of bug where it graphically makes the dirt just look more and more and more vibrant and more and more yellow. It looks like dog shit, dog water, dog dookie. Whoo! So yeah, the more that I play Supercross 6 and go back and play Supercross 5, the more that I realize it ain't even close. Like, I even think Supercross 4 is better than Supercross 6. So, like, it's not even really about comparing 5 and 6. It's almost more like you're comparing 6 to the worst Supercross games, like the first one or the fourth one or something like that, you know? But, like, Supercross 3 and 5 are way above Supercross 6. Like, it's not even comparable. They are just that much better gameplay-wise. Supercross 6 seems to have a lot more of a softer... the best way to explain it is it's like when you're playing Supercross 6 with the, like, you know, advanced physics settings and you don't have any handicap stuff turned on, you got all the loosest, you know, settings set in the game, the most pro-level sort of physics settings set in the game on Supercross 6... Well, it kind of feels like you're playing Supercross 5 with all of those settings turned on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the restrictive beginner, like more beginner physics settings and all that kind of stuff, the handicap kind of settings. That's basically what it's like when you're playing Supercross 6. It's like you've slowed the gameplay down, slowed the movement down. You don't have to be anywhere near as precise with your leaning, jumping, throttle, cornering, literally any aspect of the game. You don't have to be anywhere near as quick with your reaction times or your steering or anything like that on Supercross 6 like you had to be on Supercross 5. Supercross 5 is just better. It is seriously just better in every way. It's not even up for debate. It is not. It is not. I'm telling you. And if you think Supercross 6 is better than 5, you're either A lot more of a casual dirt bike gamer, or B, you don't really understand dirt bike games. That's the only possible thing that it can be. Like, it's not one of those things that like, well, maybe Supercross 6 is better than 5. No, it's not, bro. No. No. So anyways, Supercross 5 has a lot better of that just like looser kind of movement and that momentum and that flow feeling around the tracks. Supercross 6 kind of feels like you're in quicksand, It's just like you're going half the speed, the movement is half as fast. So everything is just so much more slow and clunky and janky feeling in Supercross 6. Supercross 5 feels like a more polished, finished version of Supercross 6. I know it doesn't make any sense, but a lot of things that Milestone doesn't make any sense. Okay? But it really does seem like the gameplay, like, it's almost like Supercross 6 should have been the one that came out before Supercross 5 instead of the other way around. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It don't make any sense, but it's like they've just lost all of their progress that they made with Supercross 5. Supercross 5 is actually, when it comes to the leaning and the jump rhythm specifically, it's actually one of the best Supercross games when it comes to that. I feel like Supercross 3 is a little bit more like realistic than 5, like as far as the weight of the bike and just kind of certain elements of it feel a little bit more realistic, but 5 is really, now that I go back to it, it's one of the better Supercross games for sure, whereas Supercross 6 is one of the worst. I think it is the worst, especially for its time. What you would expect Milestone to be giving you at this point, Supercross 6 is just not that, dog. It is just not that, dog. So anyways, definitely share this video with the people that were wondering, Supercross 6 compared to 5, because I'm one of the only people out there that's actually going to lay out the facts and tell you the truth about it. So be sure you got all notification bells hit for the channel. I'm going to make a few more videos on Supercross 6, a couple more things to talk about on it, but it really helps out my channel when you guys hit all notification bells. Kind of puts me up there a little more view count wise with some of the bigger guys, and Lord knows, the real opinions on these Supercross games need to be got out there, because a lot of the bigger YouTubers, it's just, positive fairy tale land, neutral boy, you know what I mean? So, but another thing I noticed was Supercross 5 is a lot more like, you can have a lot more of those close call moments, like where you almost crash off the bike, but then you save it. Whereas Supercross 6 is a lot more like you just never crash, but the rare occasion when you do, you just instantly crash off the bike like you had no chance of saving it. It feels more like that janky, buggy MXGP Pro instantly crash off the bike for no real reason. Whereas Supercross 5 is a lot better, where it's like when you crash on Supercross 5, you feel like, oh shit, yeah, I probably should have crashed there. And you can also kind of save it, like if you almost crash, but then you don't crash. And I just feel like there's so much more of a chance of, like, if you come up short on a jump on Supercross 5, it's just going to affect the bike so much more than it does on Supercross 6. Supercross 6 is just Bro, it don't even matter. If you come up short, you can just lean back on the bike and get through the rhythm section like it's a whoop section. You can't do that on Supercross 5. The jumps are too peaked out. There's a lot more of an impact feeling when you come up short. I would rather play Supercross 5 any day of the week over Supercross 6. So, you know, if you're one of those kind of guys you liked Supercross 5, then you definitely should not buy Supercross 6. Because it's just a worse version. It's just a slower, more basic, simplistic. Everything about the physics are worse with Supercross 6, and everything about the tracks are worse with Supercross 6 than 5. So, those are the two biggest things to a Supercross game. The physics and the tracks. That's the whole thing that creates the gameplay and the skill gap and the making you want to come back and play the game more. You know what I mean? And Supercross 5 just has so much more of that than Supercross 6. So I don't know, Milestone. You done fucked it up, dog. I don't know what the hell you're doing with Supercross 6, but that is not it. Terrible game. Supercross 6 is terrible. Especially for its time. It is terrible. Like, if Supercross 5 had the track content of Supercross 3, it would have been considered a lot better of a game than it was. But like I say, when it only had, 3 or 4 different total stadiums in the game versus, like, the full, 14, 15 different stadiums, it makes quite a big difference, So, I don't know. I hate to see Milestone go in the wrong direction, but I am telling you, Supercross 6, there's nothing about it that is better than Supercross 5. Not a single thing about it, gameplay-wise and track design-wise and things like that. There's just not. I mean, there may be something else that's better, like something with the track editor or something with, something with the career mode or some shit like that. I mean, that's possible, but when it comes down to just the gameplay, Supercross 5 is just better in every way, period, than Supercross 6. Real Dusky say word.